It's time to talk about Rushdown. Yep, it's time. Alright. So I'm just trying this again, giving it a nice swing and seeing what happens. And this time I decided to have a shot at talking about rushdowns. You know, the type of characters that are always in your face and that, in some cases, you can never get off of you. Who's in here in this? Who's in this lobby? Oh. Okay. Anyways.
Take your pick.
So, let's start with getting the basics of talking about Rushdown out of the way. So, Rushdown characters are typically characters, to my knowledge, that are more aggressive and more about being in your face, restricting your options, and not allowing you time to properly think and process what's going on. Now, for TFH, these characters are relegated to Arizona, Tianhuo, Paprika, Putrid One. But despite the fact of what they are, they still provide playing Rushdown in a different variety of ways. Now, I'm going to talk about each of these characters sequentially, so we're going to go Arizona, Huo, Putrid. And maybe I'll discuss, like, the possibility of Velvet and Oleander being able to do it. Because I've played enough of Oleander, I played a decent amount of Oleander to know what I could possibly talk about. I play Velvet aggressively like she is a rushdown, so I have a feeling like I know what I'm doing, or what I'm talking about. But for right now, let's talk about Arizona for the most part. So, what does Arizona want out of being a rushdown? What Arizona typically wants out of her being a rushdown is the fact that she always wants her resources. She needs her resources and her necessary space in order to slowly but surely limit your options and force you to play around her. Okay. Alright. Okay. So, Arizona, being the character that a lot of people will most likely gravitate towards, it's probably going to be either Arizona, Tianhuo, or Oleander. Now, Arizona is one of those characters where her aggression comes mostly from the things that she does and how scary she can be. It's not from it's definitely off of Oki, too. Something that she kind of needs in order to really get her momentum started. And that's what Arizona wants, is proper momentum. She wants to be able to get the resources that she needs in order to start snowballing in certain cases. Or at the very least, give her the dominance she needs in certain matchups. So, like, say for instance... Ooh, actually, let me talk about Arizona without any resources. Okay. Arizona with no resources is a character you will have to play the neutral game around before you can easily get your pick in. So that mostly relies on, yes, being aggressive, but not completely brute forcing your way through everything you see. Because herder, we know things like 6A are really good, and it's a godlike button. But you also need to be aware of all the other things that Arizona can do, be it her surprising reach, or the fact that she's, like, kind of deceptive when... Okay, let me back up for a second. Because I was going to say that, but Arizona is, like, once you really get into it, Arizona can be really telling on what she wants if you're paying attention enough and if you play the game enough. But for some people, no. I don't think most people are going to guess what she wants right off the bat. All people would really see at first for Arizona... Okay, let's see. Blocking. Okay. After first. Alright. So most people, when they pick Arizona, they're just like, oh, I could just, press buttons and do things. I can do thing good. Yeah, I do thing good. I have damage. I have all these cool things. But when it comes to playing Arizona, you kind of have to play, at first, when you have no resources and depending on the character, you need to play the neutral before you can get your resources. Once you get your resources, then people start to fear you bit by bit. Now, why is that? Why do people fear Arizona? She's a rushdown, yeah. So when you see stuff like this, it gives people a shake, including myself included. Whenever I see an Arizona just hit JC, I'm terrified. Now, Arizona's tools are mainly used for getting the resources she needs, and then efficiently using those resources to capitalize off of those small moments of either proper punishment or seeing that gap. So say for instance, someone just gets like, oh hey, I just hit this button. I can make something off of this. Let's see here. So Arizona has just being able to constantly stay in someone's face when you need to. But the main problem with Arizona and her rushdown is that she needs to okay, if I'm gonna put this like how Foxy helped me put it, or helped me think about it, she's kind of like Jubei, in a sense, from BlazBlue. Now, what is, like, when I bring up Jubei from BlazBlue, what do I mean? Well, for Jubei to be as efficient as he possibly can be, he needs proper resources to fully capitalize on what he wants. So if I were to say anything about, let's say, Arizona and her weaknesses, so, say for instance, let's see here. Okay, so let me bring a line to what Arizona's strengths are. So Arizona's strengths, I feel, are her mobility. That's also a bit of a weakness because most of her mobility is committal, and you have to commit to doing stuff like a super jump, and you can't, completely change your direction like an air dash would. Say, for instance, like Tian. If you're super jumping against someone like, say, Velvet or Oleander, and they've got a proper trap set up for you, you have to take that chip. You have to sit down there and just take what they're dishing out. But then that requires you to, again, wait your turn and then make your punishes. Because that's one thing about Arizona that people need to keep in mind. You have to be patient at first, and then once you start getting your momentum, you need to take it and run with it. Because Arizona, yes, has good combo potential, and she can get a lot of things off of many of her moves, and in some cases force people to sort of block. Okay, she forces people to block a lot of her things because a good amount of her buttons are relatively safe. So let's see here. Let's have a look at her buttons. Okay. Let's have a look at our buttons on block. -1, -1, -2, -4, -9. Those are still relatively good buttons. Oh hi, Red.
No.
I'm talking about Arizona.
No.
So in most cases, Arizona can make herself slightly unsafe, but still try to keep the aggression going. Actually, Red, do you mind coming in here and helping me with Arizona talk?
No.
Thank you.
Take your pick.
Uh,
Arizona. I'll make
let's see, getting back to talking about comparing her to Jubei, let's see here. Greater mobility, which can be enhanced by, let's see, Fudos Sharingan? Okay. So, her mobility, she already has good enough mobility, but it's only enhanced with the fact that she gets resources, so, you know, once she has the resources to do what she wants, and the main two things that she uses for, that she can use for mobility is EX Headbutt, or, okay, shit. God damn it.
Wow, dead game.
Yeah, dead game indeed. Nobody's on tonight. It's like it's a Tuesday.
Exactly, dude. I don't care. Tuesday, dead game.
Okay. And EX Dash. Now, both of these moves still help her in her mobility and move her forward and even provide her some protection, whereas EX Dash is hard to punish. Let's see, stuff like her counter and her headbutt can all be stuffed. But when you're doing it out of surprise or on wake up, it can be a little tough to punish due to the fact that she has like a hit of armor on it. And counter just soaks up everything. Actually, you know what? It'd probably help if I was in a match with you, Red, as I was elaborating for the time being.
Teaching people how to play Arizona with Red. This is gonna end badly, boys.
Well, it's more just like discussing the idea of Arizona as a rushdown character.
Wait a minute. You said you wanted Unga, right?
I'm trying not to let my personal feelings bleed in right now.
Okay.
Okay. So, Red?
Hi.
What would you say, as a Cal player yourself, what would you say Arizona's strengths are?
That's a really good question. I'd say that's about everything except range.
Well, Arizona does, like, have... her normals are really stubby, but she makes up for that in just having combos that allow her to get her resources incredibly easy.
Mm-hmm. And resets. Mm-hmm. Reset queen.
Arizona is very good at resets. Okay.
I did a backdash. I love this game, you know?
You have a backdash.
Fuck it, let go. Okay. So the idea of Arizona in her rushdown is mainly trying to get in and then capitalizing. That is her main idea of rushdown. And if she wants to be played efficiently, you have to either make the necessary do the necessary combos that allow her to capitalize properly, or make the necessary callouts in order to just keep them under your hoof, so to speak.
Hoofy boy. I was doing the exact same inputs you were, and I got really confused. That's why I let off blocking, bro.
Now, when it comes to being rushdown, as I stated earlier, it's not always about just completely having, you know, your face in theirs. That's what being a rushdown typically entails, but it doesn't always mean that you have to, like, you know, say, I'm good at the game, so I'm just gonna sit in your face and do everything, push all the
How did that kill you? I thought the super was gonna kill.
Okay. So, Ren?
No.
Anything else? Anything else you got to say about playing Cal?
Cow is a cow.
Anything serious, insightful?
Okay. Honestly, just know when you need to block and don't let yourself get cornered. Like, I guess that's all I can say.
Arizona does suffer in the corner. She struggles sometimes because,
especially against Paprika. freaking god.
We'll get to talking to Paprika soon enough, but right now we're talking about Arizona. Now, Arizona, like, okay, so I've mainly detailed what Arizona wants. She wants you in her grasp enough to where she can get the resources she needs and then capitalize off of it. And patience is key to doing so. Let's see here. I would say that Arizona excels at mix-ups, but it's more she excels at OP and resets.
You're not wrong.
Because Pap more excels in doing the resets and everything, because that's her thing. Pap's main idea of rushdown is... Oh, hello, I see. Okay, Pap's main idea of rushdown is more staying in your face and keeping you constantly confused. Because that's what she wants. I didn't grab it.
That's exactly what happens when you grab too early, big
okay.
boy.
What does Arizona lose to as, you know, a rushdown character? Well, Arizona loses to range. That's a given for pretty much any rushdown. Say, for instance, like Ragna. Let's see, Ragna, Soul. If you space them out and keep them away from giving them what they want, and let's say, for instance, and when I'm referring to those two, I'm referring to the main characters of both BlazBlue and Guilty Gear. Characters that are easy to play and are meant to be in your face most of the time. Pap is a hype version of our Arizona. Pap,
no.
I would say, is a weirder version of Arizona.
Okay.
All right. Now,
And kicking.
Arizona does great damage when she's allowed to capitalize and properly get her resources. She can very well reach into 2, maybe even 3K territory if given the chance. Oh shit.
Grabs are in the game, by the way.
Oh yeah, and especially against Arizona, if you want to curb any aggression related to using magic, grab her. Just grab her. Either grab her or put her in a position where she can't really, you know, fight back well enough with her key normals, being like
Fight you.
6A, 5B, 2B, 5. I would say even 5C, but I could definitely be wrong. Nice.
You can usually, whenever people don't short hop when they do JC, you can usually duck under it, but that's really risky, and I did it there just to show it off.
And that's it's a good thing. Thank you.
It's a good thing, but I wouldn't do it during a tournament.
Because
I would not do it during a tournament.
Because JC can catch people.
Yes.
And already...
especially when you're blocking, especially when you're crouching, like there's no blocking that.
Yeah.
I just did it there. It's risky, but it's definitely a thing that happens.
And for certain characters, you can't necessarily crouch it because of their hitboxes.
Exactly.
Like Velvet, for instance.
Then you have Arizona, which is just okay. Okay game. Okay game.
Oh shit.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay.
All right. Actually, Andrew,
Yeah.
since you're the fresh blood around here, do you have necessarily any questions on what being rushdown means? Or
What is a rushdown?
Yeah, what's a rushdown character?
I mean, from my understanding, it's just somebody who's always in your face, trying to throw out hitboxes, get damage done as quickly as possible. The neutral game does not
I didn't
matter.
block. I'm
Go
dumb.
Immediately for everything. So, how I play Roy in Smash.
Okay. See, that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Like, some characters could disregard neutral and just say, "I'm gonna hit you with my mix-up constantly," which Arizona can do. But that's all a matter if she's got the momentum and got what she wants. Either being the right hit confirm or fuck.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
I will be getting. I'll be actually.
I was 2-car in the corner.
Oh.
I got so confused right there. Okay. Game. Okay. Did that turn?
Oh boy. I fucked it up twice. Okay.
Did that turn around on your screen too?
Yeah. Arizona.
Perfect
Okay.
game.
All right. But let's see here. Rushdowns don't necessarily. Okay. Yes, they do want to throw up buttons a lot, and they're meant to be in your face all the time. But as I'll restate, when it comes to playing a rushdown, you need to have a good understanding of patience, waiting your turn, and punishing accordingly. Because if you're just gonna run in, push buttons, and expect to get, shit done without any semblance of an idea of, how you're gonna properly throw someone for a loop, you're not gonna have an easy time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Alright. Let's see, that's why I stopped playing Ori, so my rushdown play just does not show her justice. Because, playing rushdown with Arizona requires that you just...
I did input, but okay.
You be patient for the most part. Just gotta scoot your way in, push the right buttons, and then make your efficient punishes. Then once you have your efficient punish, you're gonna have to go for Oki. Either Oki or a decent enough reset to where it throws them for a loop, keeps them in your grasp, and you're able to punish, just dish out more damage afterwards.
Imagine Blem talking about Ari.
What, I can't talk about Arizona? I played the character enough to know what I'm talking about somewhat. Because I've also fought enough Arizona to understand that, she really does struggle in certain matchups. To bring those to light, any matchup where she has to just sit there at the other end of the screen and do next to fuck all is like Arizona. Let's see, Arizona Velvet, Arizona Oleander.
Grabs her in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Arizona Oleander she suffers. She suffers it. She suffers in most matchups where she has to just, play their game and not her own. Oh. But once she's able to play her own game, then she can have all the fun she wants.
You know what? Okay, keyboard. I love you.
All right.
Okay, keyboard.
Now, let's say...
Okay, keyboard.
Here's the weird thing.
Open up a private collection.
Now, actually, Drew, what do you think happens when you throw two rushdowns at each other? What do you think happens?
A lot of nothing.
In what sense? Ah!
What magic, thick boy?
There are two outcomes that I see. Either one person gets to it first and suddenly the entire match is theirs, pretty much, or you end up with this massive stalemate because they both know the rushdown play style and they know how to counter it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you just kind of end up sitting there blocking the whole
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. My little... Okay. That's why I'm learning Ollie to stop my rushdown. Okay. Playing characters that force you to be patient and curb your, your murder tendencies, because okay. Let me actually bring this to light, alright? Because I'm going to talk about Pap for a second, alright? I'm going to skip the order and just go straight to Pap, because if I'm going to be talking about patient and explosive aggression, it's Pap. It is fucking Pap.
Trash game. Alt F4.
Okay. Now, actually, Red,
What?
what would you say about Pap?
She's hot. I mean, she's cute.
You know what I meant, you shit.
She's not fun to play against Azari.
Oh, definitely. Because here's the thing about Paprika and Arizona. It is a weird matchup where both of these characters want to rush each other down and dominate each other. So it's all more of a match of just like who who can mix the other up and who can lock down the other. Because if it's Pap actually has the exact same movement options as Arizona. Run dash, short hops, and super jump. So that's when I said earlier that Paprika is just a weirder version of Arizona. She really, actually, you know what? Let me properly switch. Let me switch back to Arizona and you just sit there as Pap. This is beautiful.
I love it.
Okay. Actually, Red?
No.
Tell me your experiences of playing Pap Arizona.
Just imagine Arizona inside of a corner, and imagine Pap just constantly JCing every single freaking time you get up.
You want to exemplify that? Yeah. Because I will say it like this. While Arizona is definitely also an explosive, and you have to play a little patiently to get what you want out of like her rushdown style, when it comes to Pap, it's all a matter of keeping
this right here. This BS.
It's all
Did you see that?
Yes. It's all a matter of keeping you mixed up, locked down, and in her grasp. Because what Pap wants is you. She wants you right, like, this is where she wants you. Right here. Whether it be she can do, like, mix things up by pushing buttons and then doing DP grab like that. Or say if she, like, you know... Actually, hey, Red. Say if I want to approach, right? I want to jump and hit you with a button. What do you think Pap could do to stop my... Okay, that's an option. What else does she have? Huh? No, not just 6A. Not super. There are other options. Learning fighting games is the best yet hardest learning experience in games. Yep. Okay. So the thing is with Paprika, if she gets one, and this is sounding like hyperbole, but it feels like if she gets one good hit off of you, that's a good chunk of your life gone. And that's where you have to start guessing, especially on super. Like, Red, hit me with super. Alright. This will put you in a situation of yes. And there are a lot of things you could do. Pap could jump over you and hit a button, hit JC. She could hit you with a low, or a low into overhead. Or if she knows you're gonna block low, she could go immediately for the overhead. She could go for a grab. It's all a matter on guessing what Pap wants. And that's her idea of rushing you down, is to constantly keep you in her grasp. Keep you in her grasp and just mix things up. Throw you off guard. Lock you down. You got all any... Okay. Also, hi, Glitchy. That's how I see Pap. And that's what I gather from just watching Pap. Because, look, just her crouching, like, Red, just charge. Just hold down back. This right here, this position right here, scariest thing in the entire game. Because for one thing, you don't know what she wants. You don't know what she's gonna get. You know she's charging. You know she's waiting. And then next thing you know, you could be like sitting here like this, and then bam, like that.
Second scariest position in the game is hold still, hold still. It's this. See this?
Yeah.
This is horrifying. Walking forward is horrifying.
But here's
10 images taken moments.
Yeah.
Okay, but speaking of Pap, okay, Red,
Yeah.
hit me with an overhead again. Good. She's unsafe. She's unsafe on those moves on which she wants to punish you on. Or at least, you know, use as overheads. Other than her jumping normals that you can short hop and smack people with, which will definitely catch you off guard, Pap needs to mostly play patiently, like Arizona. But once she's done playing patient... Okay, with Pap, it's definitely a good... Okay, let me... Okay. With Paprika, it's definitely an idea of just I'm gonna sit here and wait until I have the opportune moment to hit you with something, throw you in a mix-up, or just completely fuck up your entire game plan. And matchups against Pap, say for instance, like Arizona, I'd imagine, Red, experience.
No.
Speak of your experience fighting Paprikas.
Paprika's decent at resets in the corner, not gonna lie. Like, as soon as Arizona gets in the corner, it's extremely hard for her to get out because depending on what Paprika you're fighting against, the more experienced ones will know exactly how to keep you in the corner and keep you there.
Oh yeah.
And for Arizona, who really doesn't have any tools unless she has magic, it's really hard for her to get out. And even if you do get out, Paprika has stuff to kind of counter that. So
Actually, hey Red,
no.
you want to do me a solid?
Sure.
Shoot a fruit at me. Another terrifying thing about Paprika, these fucking things. You want to have soft button locks? Just lock your entire just lock your buttons, because if it's one thing that she can do is a Paprika could do a combo, either end it or end it in a gift toss or have gift toss somewhere in there. And this position is absolutely mortifying, because what do you want to do? What do you want to do in this situation when, say, Pap's right in front of you, Red?
What would you do if Pap was right in front of you?
With food just sitting right here, because if you push this A button, the button that's going to possibly save you, because if Pap has range, she can just push button. She can push button for the most part and cancel into a cartwheel, which is relatively safe. Like, actually, do a cartwheel, Red?
A cartwheel's really safe, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do anything.
If I wanted
you
to
can do that.
super
Shut
right,
up.
if I wanted to do super, okay, that is the only option I would say out of doing that. Like,
Actually, try that. I've never tried.
I would say that's the only option of her getting her off of you, off of cartwheel A. But there's always the nick if you want to ever try to punish her, she can immediately cancel into super. So Pap definitely has a lot of tricks up her sleeves in order to immediately stuff what you want. You want to punish her? Super. You want to try and get out of her grasp? She'll find a way back in. And that's what terrifies me about Pap. She has a lot of capabilities to keep you guessing and to keep you scared. Even when I'm playing Arrows, even when I'm playing Velvet, a character that is specifically meant to keep characters like Paprika out, I'm still terrified, because if I don't have proper resources against her,
Also, Paprika's got range with like all of her attacks.
Oh yeah, she has range. I make the joke about her being Hell's Fang, but it fits because she can literally go half screen.
Actually, keep standing right there.
Yeah?
Keep standing right there, yeah.
So not only...
This pretty much takes up 75% of the screen, dude. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That didn't hit, but that would have if I was like an inch closer, dude.
Oh yeah, add that to the fact that you can jump cancel off of most of these moves. Like, say if you hit me with Bouquet, Red.
Okay.
Alright?
Yep.
You can jump cancel those moves. And then continue and then get your combo there. So if you get a straight hit, Pap can go right off of it. And then lead into super, which just allows her to get Oki. And that's what Pap excels at too. Pap's really good at Oki, but she doesn't have the necessary tools to really get in. Because, like, sure, she has stuff like Cartwheel A, Bouquet, and teleports and everything, but those can be stuffed. Like, say if you want to do teleport on me, Red. Like, teleport B, you know?
No.
If you see it coming, you can punish it. Teleport C.
No.
Okay. Do it again.
No. No.
You can get stuck. So a good portion of Pap's stuff is considered unsafe. Actually, you know what, Red? Hit me with Bouquet. Hit me with Bouquet.
Okay.
Unsafe. And she gets punished. A good amount of Pap's a good amount of Pap stuff is unsafe. So that relies on her having a lot of tricks and a lot of things to make her safe. Whether it be... Actually, hey, Red?
No.
Bouquet Super. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Yep. Say if I wanted to punish right there, I couldn't. Okay, delay T-shirt. Actually, hey, Red?
Sure.
Do delay T-shirt.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm back.
Alright. Because, like, you can delay T-shirt for a while.
Yep.
Enough to throw people off and even catch someone. So I would say Pap is definitely a character that relies on getting those openings or making those openings and staying in. She is rushdown to a terrifying degree. Whereas Arizona is rushdown in the sense where she has to, you know, find her openings and take them and run with them. Pap can literally see the opening, look at it, and go, oh, that's cute. That's cute. Okay. Okay. Actually, Drew, I'm gonna... Actually, hold on. Nope. I know what I'm gonna do for a second.
Uh-oh. He knows what he's gonna do.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Bycaf.
There we go.
Okay. So, do you have anything to say about Pap in Arizona?
Pap in Arizona, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about Pap right now with sitting here with Arizona, because I got done talking about Arizona being a rushdown character that wants to, like, you know, slowly make her strides and then take them as time goes on.
Okay. You see, Arizona I wouldn't really call a rushdown character to a T, but she definitely has some.
No, she's not rushdown to a T. I would say, because okay, only until she gets magic would I dare say that she is true rushdown. Because
she's true rushdown when she has level 2. That's all she really needs to be rushdown.
Really?
Because I swear, if I could probably pressure someone just by the fact I have level 2, then just smash her.
Okay. Now, I'm sure you've been paying attention to the stream and heard what I said about Pap.
Yeah.
Now, would you agree on what I've been saying about Pap?
Pap is 100%. She's a rushdown character in, like, a lot of senses. She's more like Mitsuru, to be honest with you.
And
or like,
Mitsuru from P4A?
Yeah.
Okay, elaborate. Explain the character, Bycap.
Mitsuru is more of a poking, rushing type of character. She has zoning options like Paprika, but she's better at poking people off and then rushing them down with that.
Mm-hmm.
With Paprika, I see the exact same thing because with 5C,
yeah,
if that happens.
Hit me with 5C. Hit me 5C. Actually, do 2C as well.
Oh,
that's 2B. Yeah, okay.
There. Shut up.
Pap has, okay, where Arizona doesn't, Pap has reach. She has a surprising amount of reach, even on her normals.
Yeah.
Now, that can be to the ire of, you know, Velvet players like me, where I'm just like, oh, actually, hold on, Red, stop for a second. All right, so say, for instance, I'm like right here. Now do 2C. It still hits me. Even when I think I'm out of her range, Pap will still manage to find her way in. Now,
also, side note, Pap's 2C really launches her forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, this move is actually really unsafe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Block it, then do block it, then do 6B.
Okay. All right. Oh shit.
Block it. Or, well, I'm retarded. Never mind. Just
Why do you think a 6B punish would work, Red?
All right. No, actually, let me say this as well.
Okay. Actually, you know what, Bycaf? Do you want to pop in herds and just help with the talk?
Help with the talk. I'm more help with the talk. I can just help with the talk in here.
Oh, okay.
Because people need to actually have their voice in chat.
True.
Yeah. So the reason why I say she's more rushdown than Arizona is because of the fact that she has pretty much no defensive options.
Yeah, Pap really doesn't have any defensive options. Whereas, say, Arizona has defensive options in counter and EX headbutt. Pap
And
has,
super,
yeah,
and also like
and soup.
6B somehow.
6B is weird, but okay. Pap has nothing in terms of defense. She has all of her chips thrown in on offense.
Yeah.
Now you could definitely make the point that it's like, actually I don't know what point you could make about Pap.
All right, let me actually, because since I play every character like a fucking drunk idiot, I'll actually explain Pap. Pap is 100% a charge character. There is no way to deny that.
I mean, that's what her moveset consists of.
The thing is, what makes it hard to defend isn't because of the fact that they're charge moves, but because of the fact that you are more afraid. People that play charge characters are like supposed to turtle.
Yeah. So with someone like Pap being an extremely odd outlier where she can just come on in your face and just push buttons, and she's meant to be in your face while being a charge character, is really off-putting. Because when you think of charges, you would think of first Guile. Just like, I'm gonna crouch, and that's it. That is my game plan. With Pap, it's the same thing, but it's more along the lines of, I'm a crouch, but I'm also gonna hit you with some mean-ass long-range buttons and then punish afterwards.
Yeah. As well, Paprika anti-air, it's actually the weirdest anti-air in the game.
Okay, it's less of an actual anti-air and more of a combo tool.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Arizona's anti-air is multi-purpose. It is meant to,
fuck with you.
It's meant to like scare you. It's meant for combos. It's meant for everything. It is a universal button.
It's actually stupid how many times you can use it.
Yeah, no, I could definitely use it in a combo at least 3 times. So let's say, actually, hold on. Let me check the frame data here on block. Because, actually, wait, hold on. Most of Arizona's mix-ups when it comes to 6A is on hit, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the terrifying thing about Arizona and her mix-ups. A lot of Arizonas will definitely do jump-related things. So that tells you to either, not block, not crouch block, but you definitely need to keep your eyes about, especially when it comes to doing 2D into JC. Because, and I'll bring this up as a point, whereas Arizona's mix-ups are more evident by just what the Arizona is doing, whether it be 6A and then jumping, or just doing, as I showed earlier, like 2D JC.
Yeah.
Pap, on the other hand, has no tells for the most part. You just have to guess.
Also with Arizona, if you actually do the thing that Keith does, which is, I actually have to put this in enemy talk. Oh god. Can I put it in like the talk I'm used to? Okay.
Go on.
Light, crouching light, medium, crouching medium, anti-air, medium, crouching medium, and then you can do sweep or overhead.
Okay. So, also, as another thing, I know a lot of Arizonas do 6A and wait to do something.
Yeah.
And as we all know, as I stated earlier, Arizonas, if they hit 6A, they're gonna jump. So when they do shit like this, it throws you off completely. Now, on hit, it's unsafe by itself, but it's more the idea that you have to respect Arizona and what she does and when she has those proper resources for it. Because Arizona by herself is not terrifying. Arizona with resources is so scary. It's terrifying.
It's actually just a worse version of Mika.
From Eunice?
Yeah, because Mika, up close, I don't want to deal with that.
Actually,
you really, like, you can agree with me on that.
Oh yeah,
you don't want to deal with that.
Oh, and another thing, Arizona also, like, off of Headbutt B, she can also cross you up on it if you just do, like, say, for instance, that. So she has another idea of just getting you mixed up.
And the thing is, if you actually do, I'm trying to think, Heckbuck C, sweep into rope, if you, like, you can do that as, like, a pressure tool as well. Like, not like, down rope, I mean actually neutral rope.
Oh, okay. Like that. Actually, here's what I could do for you since you're just sitting here watching.
Yeah.
So I can give you.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So doing this, it's like, oh shit. Damn it. All right. I forgot to do this.
Oh, that means they hit the game twice.
Okay, there we go. That right there, it does a decent chunk of damage. It does a decent starter, but that's all matter if Arizona can get the call out in the first place on her unsafe button.
I mean, the thing is, you can do it in a combo.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part because, like, when you do it, it's either very close to the juggle decay and you can't tell, so you just look like an idiot, or it actually is full juggle decay and you get down.
Actually, here's the thing. Here's the thing about juggle decay though. No, not juggle decay. Doing like neutral rope, a lot of Arizonas will just proceed to either wait you out, see what you do, or push buttons immediately and continue the combo. Arizona's Arizona's mix-ups mostly come off of the situations that she's presented with. Whereas Paprika, her mix-ups, she has to make her situations. Arizona can make her will definitely make her situations, but it's all a matter on the mix-ups that she does off of it. Like, say for instance, if I hit 5D and I hit a button, and if you respect me enough, are you gonna push a button? In which case,
You won't.
You won't, because shit like this exists, and Arizona can just delay. So the fear of delay and baiting people, because that's what I also feel like Arizona is also really good at, goading people. Because you do an unsafe button and then you confirm into, like, say, counter. So let's say if I recorded this slot here and hit this button, you know?
Yes.
Okay, and let me go into magic. All right. So like that.
Yeah. Now imagine playing as Oleander with this shit, and you'd be fucking terrified.
Yeah, because the thing is, if Oleander actually, speaking of which, hey, bye, Calf.
Hmm?
We're gonna talk about rushdown ideas with Oleander later.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like they have an iota, like Velvet and Oleander have an iota of doing rushdown. But their ideas of rushdown are completely different from the ideas that Arizona, Tianhuo, and Paprika present. Where, if I'm going to restate all of what I've said, Arizona's rushdown mainly comes from resources. Getting those proper, getting those openings, taking them with stride, but also getting her resources so that you're made to fear her. Because Arizona, without magic, she has barely anything to defend herself with. Her normals are incredibly stubby. And if she tries to call you out by by doing rope or something like this without resources, and then pushing a button, what the fuck's Arizona gonna do?
Yeah.
Now, I've been talking about, and let's see, Paprika is just more the idea of,
take your pick.
I want to get in, so if you let me in, I'm staying in. She's kind of like a house guest, where it's like, hold on, I can make the joke right now. So,
Oh no, I can already see how this is going.
This is a nice house we have here. Can I stay? Thanks, friend. That's Paprika.
It's more like Palm, to be honest with you. Both Palm and Paprika.
But it definitely fits Paprika more, because we could talk about Palm and what she wants to do for Rushdown.
Why would you do that?
because someone's a masochist and they want to challenge themselves. All right.
God dang it, Oscar.
All right. So let's talk about Tianhuo. So
now here's how I said in my review, if you actually read it, which I don't think you did, how I felt how Tianhuo and Paprika I felt like their roles flipped completely.
Okay. So you're on the stream talking about like Rushdown and whatnot. So go on, speak.
So I felt like Tianhuo was supposed to be the Rushdown character. I mean, look at her. Does she look like a Rushdown character to you? Like, completely Rushdown. She has an air dash. She has literally just aerial raves just for days.
She has what I would consider anime fighter movement.
Yes. in a Street Fighter game, that's rushdown material, my guy.
Oh yeah.
And then you wanna know what top play is? Playing patiently. What? That doesn't make any sense. This is the rushdown character, yes?
Yeah,
it has rushdown moves.
But wait, why is the rushdown character playing patiently? But wait, Ablaze, I thought we were supposed to be playing rushdown. We weren't supposed to be playing neutral. Well, okay.
Like, the thing is, Chandro is a rushdown character.
She
but
is.
She is 100% what people don't expect from a complete rushdown character is.
Alright, well, I'll say it like this with Tian. She is rushdown like Arizona in the sense where she needs her resources in order to efficiently make her punishes good. Because Tian, well, I don't
say this.
I don't see good punishes from this character.
Really, she has good punishes and good ideas. Like, the ideas are there. But at the same time, like, really a rushdown character is a person who forces people to make mistakes all the time as you're rushing them down. And also making sure that you do random shit that are like high risk and high reward.
Okay, but see, Tian is like high risk, moderate reward. Because, I'll say it like this. Tianhuo's damage will definitely mostly come from the idea that she has to use her very limited resources to either escape certain situations and play around you, or just, you know, scare you enough with her variety of mix-ups and just, you know, movement to really get what she wants. Because Tianhuo is like Chip from Guilty Gear. Because I'll say it like this: Tianhuo and Chip both share one thing a few things in common.
Don't get busted.
Don't get touched, because you have the lowest health in the entire game, and you have a lot of movement options. And what's the one thing that you're going to be using to get your mix-ups and get all of your damage and conversions and everything? Using your movement.
Yes. Also, he's been muted for a long time.
No, I know, it's fine. He said in chat. Tianhuo can definitely make do with what she has. It's a very rough ride, but she can still make do with what she's got. She just has to work for it. And for a lot of budding Tians, Tian at first is like, wow, this character's so cool. She's a dragon. She does all these cool things, these little flips and stuff. Wow, Tian's cool. She's also pretty easy, because I can just do stuff like this. Like freaking this. It's cool, right? Here's the thing about Tian. When you get in lower levels, Tian is fun. She's interesting. She's a noob killer. Because not very many people understand the idea that air dashes kill you.
Also the fact, I'm gonna say this right now, Dom actually said it in his stream, and I actually agree with him. People don't know how to zone correctly. It hurts.
In what sense? Like with their normals?
They just don't know what is zoning completely, and that kind of kills the game.
True, because I would say at high level people know what zoning is, unless Dom still has a problem with that.
Maybe. The reason why I say this is because of the fact that I actually Ski Buster showed me this. Instead of like kind of keeping him like mid-screen and like pushing Dom while like making his range more effective, he backed off. He just went to the corner.
Yeah, because I think I presented this in my Velvet tutorial. You don't necessarily need to force yourself to make the necessary space. Sometimes
But the thing is, but I'll say this. The thing is with Alligator versus Velvet, you have to, because of the fact that if you do, Alligator doesn't get to be very safe all the time. Like, the only space that is safe for us is literally the corner.
Against Velvet?
Yeah, if you're like in like the very other side of the corner and you breathe, that's safe. Except for like the
don't
icicle.
Jump though. Do not jump.
Yeah,
because you can still get pelted by DP's icicles. But the fact of the matter is, if you jump, I will pelt you. But I think we're getting off topic when we're talking about Oleander.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So back to Tian. Her idea of rushdown is using her mobility to confuse you and keep you on your toes. Because what a lot of Tianhuos like to do is this. Vulture. I call it the vulture because what do vultures like to do when they're stalking their prey?
They go in a circle.
They fly around you and above you. And with Tianhuo, you have to guess on her very basic fundamental mix-up. It's like, which way am I going? Am I gonna go here or here? Where am I gonna go? Tianhuo is just a lot of fundamental guessing.
Yes.
And keeping yourself in check. Because if Tianhuo cannot make her way in, she suffers. And she takes hits a lot harder than Pap and Arizona. Because Arizona has the highest health in the game along with Pap.
Mm-hmm. I am also, by the way, I will say this. The reason why I feel like, the reason why I feel like Tianhuo is, like, bare minimal and I feel like she's incomplete is because of the fact I feel like she has, like, every other character has that stuff. Like, all the stuff they need for, like, their archetypes or whatever. I feel like Tianhuo just has her archetype and that's about it.
I can see that because, like, what does Tian really have that makes her special or unique outside of her archetype of I'm fast and I hit well.
And I hit well. If you can argue Flight is that, but then again, no, that's not
Flight, okay. Like, Flight is just, it's a movement option.
It's a movement option.
It's nothing.
Flips?
It's nothing too crazy like a dedicated teleport or something that's explicitly meant to mix you up. Now, her doing flips and everything, that's what
different.
throws people off.
Yeah.
Because
and I think we should actually talk about how to deal with flips because of the fact that'll be better for if people know how to deal with them.
Okay. I would say dealing with flips is all about pattern recognition and when Tian likes to do it. Or in certain cases, when they want to. Alright? How they do it and when they want to do it. So I would say, like, flips are either a first response or a last-ditch effort to open you up. Because it's one thing that Tian doesn't want to waste. It's her resources.
Yeah.
And whatever whatever Tian does, like, say, she has to end the block string somehow. And if she ends it, like, she can end it or keep it going through the idea of doing, flight cancels. But you can just poke her out of that.
Yeah. And as well as that, they actually made it easier by adding a sound effect.
Oh yeah. You can hear her whooshing upwards. So let's say if I turn on the hit stun slot, all right, and I do. Let's see here. Okay. I'm definitely not proving the idea, but I know I've hit Tians out of their flight. Because Tian constantly just wants to be in your face and keep you guessing, like Pap does. But she does it to such a lesser effort that it's hard for her.
Actually, I believe you probably hit them with, like, 5B, maybe?
No, 5C.
5C, okay.
Yeah, okay.
That makes sense.
So, she could try to cover her ass with stuff like, fuck, okay. Actually, you know what? You know what I could do?
You shot at me.
No. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, let's say if I hit her with stuff like this. Okay, fine. Alright, okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about, but it's the problem I don't know what I'm doing.
You're not doing it in block string, you're doing it in hit stun, by the way. It's hit stun, not actual block string.
Okay.
You should probably put on block string.
Alright. Also, bycaf your microphone. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Oh my god. Please. Alright, there we go. Sorry. Alright.
Okay. So, As I stated earlier, Tianhuo needs to use her mobility and her resources in order to keep you guessing and just punish you efficiently as she can. But if you're good enough at blocking, Tians will either go a few routes. They'll either use their resources like 4D in order to immediately catch you off guard, or to keep things going to the point where she will use 4D and she'll, punish you for that. For just like blocking low. Either that, or they could go for a raw ass. Oh.
Ash. And then I'll finish like what else she can do. She can do a flip, she can do Ash. She could do fly, but it's more of a beta option if you're just doing anything else. She could do 70, which makes her safe, and she can also do... I don't really see Tianhuo do this, but again, this actually could work if I want Scott to test this out. If you could do 3D, that would definitely confuse people because of the fact that usually you're gonna do a flip, so you do like overhead and blah 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 blah, and then you just hear like her jump in the air and then she just dive kicks out, and that definitely can confuse people like 100%, and it just works. Also, like people are trying to tell me if my mic is like dying in the inside. Okay, all right. As well as that, she can also just kind of mess with you. That's really how she plays. Because if she didn't have like basic rushdown tools, she kind of couldn't, like that's all she could truly rely on. It's just messing with your habits, and that's about it. It's like, that's, it's habits and stuff like that. If she isn't doing that, then she's not opening you up, like, at all. Like, if she kept doing the same thing over and over again, because you only have like 5 options that are like attack worthy, then just you don't really do much with it. You just kind of hit them, you run, you wait until your magic goes up or whatever, and then you go back in. It's just completely fine and dandy. Nothing's wrong with that. And like, that's the main issue with Tian, is because of the fact that other characters don't have to have this grace period as much. Oleander definitely does have this because of the fact that she needs to read. Velvet also has this, but that's not their real archetypes at all, so they're not really affected by it as much. So pretty much, Oleander could be like, hey yo, I'm gonna shoot some fireballs, I'm gonna read, blah. Tian was like, okay, I'm going to stand here or block and wait until this goes up, and if you're still attacking me, I may step in it. That's really it. It's like all it is. It's kind of interesting to see, but you can probably like punch it with like either a perfect block, jab, I'm trying to think of another one, or just a perfect block throw. God dang it! Okay. Anyhow. Let's see, what else Channel can do? Other than just making people just feel pressured and making them oppressed, that's all she really has going for her. There's no real difference. Well, there is difference in like playstyle, but there's no difference in like, no, not playstyle, sorry, strategies. There's strategies to do that, but they still have the same idea. Like, let me diverge a little bit. Oleander, Velvet, and like Palm. With their type of rushdown, there's either 2 or 3 ideas. With Velvet, it's because of the fact that I can keep you in the corner and I can just pressure you there. like she's completely mid-screen with her pressure, and it's scary. And you don't want to deal with it. Also, these breaks, Jesus. With like the other thing with like Velvet. Jesus. All right. You have to like pay attention to her magic gaze as well, because if you don't, you're getting hit. Oh, I'm basically explaining how the other characters deal with their archetypes and rushdowns compared to Tian right now.
Okay, so
basically I went on to like Velvet and Palm, then all later. I'm on Velvet itself.
what did you say about actually speaking of Velvet, because I think we've talked about Tian well enough. So
Velvet.
why don't we go back to thinking on Velvet for a second?
Alright.
So if you don't mind re-elaborating what you said.
I'll be fine with that. What I said with Velvet is when she's rushing you down, she's not in your face doing it.
Yeah.
Because of the fact, if she is, she's an idiot, which is what I do. But don't be like me. So yeah.
Actually, I can vouch for this. Okay. Most of Velvet's pressure mostly comes from lockdown. If you ever want to play Velvet as a rushdown, you need to know how to lock people down. And, you know, keep your proper space. Because if people are in Velvet's face like this, she's gonna have problems, because what else is she gonna do to defend herself? DDP?
Back
That's
SDP.
it. Did you just fucking say that was a good option?
No.
Anyways.
You said options.
So, the only real options I feel like Velvet has when trying to get people off of her and, you know, retain her momentum is 6A or DDP. That's it.
Yeah. Really with Velvet, you just have to actually grow repair.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to playing a rushdown Velvet, it's all a matter of knowing your moves, knowing your range, and efficiently just keeping people outside of your bubble. Because, you know, Velvet has some of the longest reaching moves in the entire game.
Not only that, I will say this. Velvet, while she has the longest range moves in the game, it also easily goes back into zoning if you, like, actually know how to phase shift like Seer does.
Yeah.
The fucking degenerate.
Now, I think I brought that back. Okay, I'm gonna go back to talking about, like, the Velvet tutorial. I definitely brought that up, that if you want to play Velvet efficiently, you need to learn how to do a balancing act of playing aggressively and keeping people outside of your bubble while still efficiently dismantling them and just keeping them out of your bubble, period.
Yes.
There's playing at this range, and then there's playing at this range. Whereas every other zoner, it's just, not every other zoner, every other rushdown, it's this. This is your necessary space. Maybe here.
But with zoning, it's literally the entire place, like, is your space other than completely in front of you.
Yeah. So, technically, this is still my space. This is still my space. Actually, no, this is just round start neutral. This is my space.
Actually, no, because of the fact that guessing game, but let's pretend it doesn't exist. Then yes, it is your space.
Yeah, okay. I'm saying complete round start, round one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's completely neutral.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if it's there not neutrally though, then yeah, it's the other.
Actually,
it's got the
hey, bye,
yeah.
Cap. Do you want to help further drive home the idea of playing patiently as a rushdown character?
Oh my god! I mean, what? Yeah, definitely. A rushdown character does not mindlessly press buttons.
Yeah.
This is the first thing I must say, because of the fact, if you do that, you're getting your fucking head curved into the stomping fucking ground.
Yeah, hold on. Let me have this. Okay, let me just push buttons mindlessly for the idea. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like, can you like make them block like for the entire time?
Yeah.
That'll be
Okay.
easy.
Okay, hold on. I'll just set it to always.
Yes. Because I must say this. what Scotty's doing, it may look good. It may look like he's doing a good, but he's fucking not. The thing is, with a rushdown character, if you're actually noticing like the frame data, like slowly, you're realizing, oh, that's plus 11. Oh, that's plus 9. You can easily jam out every ending of a rushdown's thing. That's why a rushdown is both terrifying and not if you know how to block. Because if you do, literally the rushdown's best option is to mix you up. Because if they don't have that, then literally they will be the worst characters in the entire game.
Yeah, because if it's one thing a rushdown has to do, they either have to put you in positions where you're in their hands and they can't really either think, like process what's going on, and they're kind of left saying, what do I do in this situation? What do I do, Lord?
What do I do?
What do I do?
What do I do, Lord Vegeta?
You block that.
Yes. You block. You block. Exactly. Do Vegeta block. Because actually blocking is your best friend. And I must reiterate this because I see a lot of new players not do this, except for like literally the best player in the I'm kidding, Outcast. She actually blocks. And that's fun. Because I'll say this is actually kind of a big problem with TFH right now. People don't really block.
And that's the problem with Fresh Blood, okay? I also want to do Blemified to not only help give the ideas to new people. I'm sorry that I'm skimming things over. I know like people are gonna certain people are gonna rewatch this and just pick out every idea or details that I missed. And I'm kind of weighing it at this point. But I'm making sure that I'm kind of like, I have a general idea of what I'm talking about and then proceeding to just elaborate. I might not have the necessary tools on me at all times or the necessary ideas or, skill to do what I'm talking about sometimes. But the ideas are still there if you decide to go back and look at certain matches. Say in like tournaments or even in like, streams from other people that play the game.
Yeah.
And
and
for people who are deciding to watch this back, learn to wait your turn. Okay? Waiting your turn will get you what you want. Because once you wait your turn and take it, I've been saying this the entire time, and I need to just take this home a little bit more. Waiting your turn will get you yield far greater results than just
That's the problem with actually a lot of fighting game players recently, not just TFH. They don't wait.
Okay, because I think like I know Dom sent me a video about like should like Sub-Zero be nerfed or whatever, and it was more of a guy ranting and complaining that people nowadays they don't want to defend. I'll hit you with my mix, and then you're gonna hit me with your mix, and then that's gonna be that. Whereas people are just like, man, stop blocking. Like, you need to learn how to defend yourself and punish accordingly if you want to make the leads that you need.
Exactly. I'll actually bring this up to Lilith because, in fact, holy crap, she needs this the most. Because if you don't luck with her...
Lilith from Darkstalkers? Okay, so actually,
Yeah.
before you get to talking about what you need with Lilith, what's the big problem with Lilith from Darkstalkers?
The big problem with Lilith at Darkstalkers is someone was, let me explain the real story before, it's not real story, but I'm saying. Someone to be like Morgan, okay? Alright, cool.
Okay, bye guys, your mic is dying.
I know. We need to make her slightly weaker than Morgan, so you can't make her a zoner. Let's make her a rush, okay? Alright.
So we have the chick from Marvel vs. Capcom, the vampire, the succubus chick, but weaker. Okay.
Yes. So she's a rushdown. Okay. What's the problem with her? Let's see. You only have like 2 reliable moves. What? I'm sorry. Say that again. 2 reliable moves.
Only 2.
And what is that? Her fireball and her super.
And
what?
Hold up, which one of those? Because we know characters have multiple supers. Which super is this?
her raging demon.
I'm sorry,
So,
say
what
that again?
Her raging demon.
And how consistently does she need to do that?
Every combo.
So, keep going.
So, oh god dang it. Since you need to do it in every combo, you need to learn this. You need to learn when to do the super, how to do the super consistently during a combo, and get this is very important. Is it a good time for me to do the super in the first place? Because there are moments where that super could have been saved for later, and you kind of wasted your entire gun.
Actually, you know what? As we're talking, I may as well just have some fights on screen, so that while playing certain characters like Arizona or Tian, just for the sake of like pushing home the message of what I'm trying to preach.
Yeah. Since that like she only has 2 resourceful moves and like 2 another kind of resourceful moves and like 2 memes, you kind of have to abuse your tools as the most you can, which is why blocking is very important, because if you don't, you're gonna fucking die. Because Dark Circus is a very punishing game,
and it's a very old one.
It is a very old game, so that means there's just no balance packages. So actually there is, but no one likes those.
What? Okay,
Because
when
they
you're
got-
talking about balance passage, you mean revisions, right?
Revisions, yeah. No one likes it. And that's... So you're pretty much stuck with Turbo, because that's the most, with the game, like the game's really meant to be ended. Not really, but like people like it, so they just do it. So, since you're pretty much hoping to God you can do combos doing rangy demons and hoping to God that you can actually hit things, what's even worse is the fact that if you don't know how to use your tools, which is a super jump, by the way, use your tools and use a super jump and block, you're gonna get hit way more than you should. Because her super jump is really helpful if you're getting in or going away. Other than that, it's not good. It's not good.
Okay, so Bicaf, do you mind summarizing your point?
I'll summarize the point in how TFH would work. So let's just say we have Arizona here, okay? So imagine her with only headbutt. Yeah, you heard me, by the way. Only headbutt. She still has her magic dash, but that costs 2 magic now. She doesn't have stomps. She doesn't have counter. She only has a rope, headbutt, and magic dash. And her super does a fuck ton of damage. Basically, if you're to get your meter, you have to know effectively how to hit people and when to block. And when you know that, you're pretty much reached to a level where mid players would actually be in. You know what you're doing and all that stuff.
When you have the idea, like a good idea of what you're doing and how you're doing it, you're getting into mid-level. But once you refine and perfect those ideas, you will get into high level. But for most people, I would assume if you're watching this, some people are either at low level or mid level that want to either reach up to high or something akin to those levels.
Yes.
Because that's what I see most of the TFH community as. Like, a lot of people there are definitely experienced people within this community, but a lot of people that play this game are either really new to fighting games and are just trying to get their start, or, have played only Smash and play this game because it's fun. But if you want to see
I will say this.
Okay.
Because I actually seen this back before the accursed one, I will not say because he gets triggered by these words. I actually was doing that. I was helping them. I brought them to this fighting fanatics thing called Young Lion. You know what the thing was? Because I knew that they were having a problem with it? Blocking. And you want to know something? The people that were really watching it, all the people who knew how to block, except for 1 or 2, everyone else refused to block. They were all more consistently doing combos than anything else. So, what does that mean? that's either you're refusing to learn or you don't really get the concept unless someone actually really helps.
Whoa!
So yeah, get that?
So what
Yes.
Minecraft is trying to say, learn to block and learn to efficiently defend yourself. It's not
Yeah.
fun, we understand that. We definitely, like, people, like the FGC people, yes, we understand that blocking isn't fun, because you're not, you know, utterly demolishing people, but it's a necessary evil that you need to do in order to win and truly improve.
Yeah, and besides, you're not playing a game where you're literally in a block string the entire time. You can block for at least 5 seconds. Come on, man. You have patience for 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But okay. Now that we've talked about rushdown for some characters, and I've assumed you've talked about rushdown for Oleander.
Not completely. I actually was about to go into Oleander.
Actually, okay, you know, let me switch to Oleander so that what you're talking about will have a proper visual representation. All right.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna bring out all of my stupid shit in this. I hope you have fun in this.
okay. All right. Go ahead and speak because I just want to have visual visual representations of what's going on.
Okay. So what Oleander is, she is a zoner. We all know this. She looks like a zoner.
But
She's a zoner.
Minecraft, how can a zoner be rushdown?
But she isn't a pure zoner. What she really is I would like to take all of your fucking money and I hope to God that it works type of character. As in, she has jack of all trades type of abilities, but turns out that's fake money and you're kind of stuck in New Mexico in the worst place in the world, Legato. So, basically, you have to learn how to use all of your tools. Well, most of them, not one of them, but don't worry about that one. You have to learn how to use all your tools. You have to know how to zone, rush down, and block.
At which we were driving home not too long ago.
Yes. So, how to rush down with the Oleander? You may notice that she has big buttons. They're very important because of the fact that how Oleander rush downs is kind of similar to Velvet, as in you kind of have to be mid-screen for it. But the thing is, you can abuse the fact that you can have 2 projectiles on the screen and they don't have to wait for it.
Oh, that 5A actually beat me out.
Yeah. But that's actually a drawback with Oleander. I was actually about to drive that home.
Okay. Go on.
You have to, if you're not confident with that button, you're going to get counter hit. Yeah, it is an inevitability. If you're not confident in that button you press, you're going to get counter hit. Like, either you're going to get counter hit like then, or you're in the worst position than you are before. Because if you're kind of hastily pressing buttons with Oleander, they're kind of slow. And if people recognize you're just kind of pressing buttons, they're going to abuse that fact. So, what you have to do is you have to trick up people to make sure that your rushdown is efficient. Pretty much, the slow fireball is to make sure that they will hold back the block or just run into it and then hold back like a perfect block, but most people won't do that.
What? I'm fine.
Alright, so what we have with medium fireballs, they're kind of the in-between. It's kind of like the half-brother of light in like fireball and like heavy fireball. So they're like the off-brand cousin. Don't worry about them that much. The one that you'll probably see people use in conjunction with light fireball is either a heavy fireball. This one is to make sure that you immediately stop so you can block it. This one is very important if you're like far away and you're trying to approach someone. The light one is also important if you want to approach someone or go back and read, because of the fact that if you haven't noticed, you kind of need to read. And that is actually really effective in a rushdown as well, because of the fact that he has read combos. There's combos specifically so you can actually do a combo or a block string. Once you're done with it, you can read, which is very necessary because that actually builds into our more scary rushdown, which is pretty much her magic fireballs, which is they can't break if you hit her. Her teleports, which is kind of weak on the ground, but definitely useful. And definitely C fire teleport if you're trying to go back from away from someone. Or 2-2D, which is just a DP. The air ones are more aggressive, as in you're going to press a button with it because they don't have a lot of lag with them when you're in the air. And then after that, we got the big kahuna. Everyone hates this move.
2C.
Epilogue.
Oh, epilogue? Okay, so...
Epilogue.
Okay, so Bicap, how does this all settle in with Oleander being, like a rushdown Oleander?
A rushdown Oleander has to make sure that you're keeping in check of everything that you're kind of pressing. Because if you don't know if you should read or not, your opponent probably knows you don't know that because of the fact you kind of press read at the wrong moment after you realize you're getting hit. Wait, what?
Okay, so like how I'm playing, I'm not reading all that much because I like to play Oleander a bit aggressively. But the thing is about Oleander and her aggression, she needs resources in order to properly aggress. Now one thing that she needs, and listen closely, kiddos, one thing you need to do to aggress as Oleander, neutral. You need to play the neutral game. Because Oleander's buttons are slow, and you need to press them deliberately.
Yes, that's what I mean by actually knowing when to press things, because if you don't, have fun with that counter hit super. Because of the fact that the thing with Oleander is just because of the fact her buttons are slow and are long, doesn't mean it's the good idea that you press them in the first place just because they're long.
Yeah, no, just because you have long-ass buttons doesn't necessarily mean you're safe. But Ablaze, you do that with Velvet! You press 2C all the time! Yes, but...
The thing with Velvet, though, is she doesn't have a good... She has a good hit, like, hurt box. It's kind of behind her, so you can kind of press it safely.
And also...
With Oleander...
Yep. No, go on.
Yeah, with Oleander, everything you do has a hurt box, except for, like, 2 moves. Oh, you see that 2C that he's kind of throwing out with willy-nilly? That has a hurt box. You see that 5C that she's throwing kind of willy-nilly? That has a hurt box. Her anti-air has a hurt box, but it's kind of low. She still has her hurt box in like normal positions. They're just disjointed. But that doesn't mean they're invincible. So you can still hit them consecutively and freely. That's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Actually, Bicap? Actually, what I was gonna say too is that Oleander, if you're gonna play aggressively, it means, just like Velvet, if you want to play her aggressively, playing inside and outside of ranges. Because I'm doing a lot of moving. I am staying on my toes and trying to just push the necessary buttons that mean I guarantee space and proper aggression. Whether it be doing like 2C Fireball or like that.
Yeah.
And 2C Fireball for the most part is true.
Yes.
Up until you throw a light fireball, then it's not.
And that's the mind game, but don't worry about that part. We're not up to that point yet.
Yeah, we're not. We're just talking about how these characters can aggress and what the mindset is for aggression. Because actually, Bicap, Bicap, do you want to try and recap our, the aggressive mindsets that we have going here?
Pretty much the aggressive mindset is don't press buttons willy-nilly, actually learn how to press your buttons correctly, and know what to do with the neutral game, because there's always neutral in the game.
Oh yeah, and
you just don't have to deal with less.
Actually, I'll bring up this point too, and I'm sorry, but like, you spoke of Ski Buster earlier, yeah? Bicap? Here's the thing about Ski Buster. I've tried to help him get better with Velvet, and he's mostly learned through watching me. But here's the thing that he hated doing. Neutral. Never having an advantage. And yes, I understand, I can imagine like new and fresh faces don't like having an advantage at all. Because what's the idea? What do Fresh Blood want the most? They just want to dominate. They just want to know, I'm good. I'm better than you. You get frick, nerd. But they don't understand the idea of, again, waiting their turn and getting their efficient punishes. Because to play the neutral game requires that you have efficient knowledge of your buttons, your character, so on and so forth.
Yes.
Bycap, Jesus Christ.
Alright, a good way to actually effectively do this stuff is actually going to training mode. I know people don't do this as much as I heard, but go into training mode and see what it looks like. It's good, cool, yeah, great. And once you figure out like what links and chains, go fight people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying stay in training mode. Just fight people now and then. Just actually don't live in training mode.
Oh, Blaze,
like
I
Seer.
know Icy Love personally. Oh, that's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got someone who knows Icy. But I hope with this stream, it's still helpful even though it's like, it's kind of scatterbrained, because we've been kind of jumping all over the place. But I hope from the, actually, Bycaf, would you say that, like, this is, despite how scatterbrained it all is, things are still concise enough?
Concise enough as in we're talking about each character, like, separately.
Mm-hmm.
And comparing, like, each one.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean only? Alright, I guess I can, give them a little more things as well before we move on to other characters.
Yeah, before we move on, because I've already elaborated on Velvet enough. I have, like, a fucking entire 2 to 3 hour stream about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, let's see, Oleander, I feel her options to aggress is more neutral and resource management.
Yes.
That and a lot of moving, like dashing.
Yes. Well,
Because
prepare to wave dash.
Yeah. Because the thing is with Oleander, her movement is incredibly limited. She might have double jump, but that won't save her from the fact that she has to dash in for a good portion of her stuff. She has a double, and let's see, her dash is just step dash like Velvet's. A lot of her combos, like, you have to tightly string them together and know what you're doing enough to where you can get those.
Yeah, also, the character acts like she has rigor mortis when she's moving unless you wave dash. I'm saying this now because of the fact that I think you can agree with this. You really can't do much once you double jump.
Oh yeah, no.
You kind of have to wait.
You have to. Actually, okay. You can at the very least change your change where you're jumping to kind of play that little game of where am I going and how am I going.
Yeah, but this is a Darkstalker, so you can block in the air and you'd be like, hey brother, how's it going? Shit. So you can't really deal with like, oh, I could just double jump just to make things more tricky. She's more like, I can double jump to make things more tricky, but you can avoid that because every character has options against it, so...
So when it comes to playing Oleander aggressively, it's more about what you know your character can do against the other player, against the other character. Because Oleander, I think, her aggression is matchup specific. Unlike, it's not universal like, say, Arizona, Paprika, and Tianzon. I dare say that, like, when it comes to aggression, it's more, it starts out as like, I don't want you near me. And then it's like, oh wait, no, never mind, now I want you near me.
Yeah. As well, I will say this. Oleander, when she has, like, magic, like, chapter traps are plus, so I advise people, if you're, like, making block chains to make yourself safe, use chapter traps to make sure you're safe. Because that's plus. And people don't like dealing with plus moves. I have experience with this. It's plus. It's, setting up traps. Not really setting up traps, it's more like putting the traps in their face and so they have to deal with it.
Yeah, you have to kind of just sit there and give them things to deal with. Because if Oleander's just sitting here like, I'm gonna play Street Fighter because I'm Ryu, she's not gonna get anything done.
Yeah. And finally, let's talk about the big kahuna. The big person I've been trying to avoid in this entire chat because holy shit, he is the main reason why you're down. Let's talk about the tentacle monster, Fred.
Oh, Fred.
Did you forget about Fred?
Okay, hold on. Speaking of Fred, as we're gonna talk about him, I know what I need to play right now.
Oh my god, it feels so...
Would you say that fighting Fred is like endless despair?
Oh my god.
Okay. Also, hi Lucario. If you want to hop on to help, like, provide examples and just like Actually, you know what? Do as you wish. If you want to sit in chat and just ask questions and provide things, go ahead. Because I'm leaving this pretty open, and we're being character specific for a time before we move on. So we're talking about Oleander and how she can aggress and what her mindset is. And
Also, if you want to hop on like the chat, it's completely free now, so you can ask questions in here. I think, yeah, it is.
No, it's gone. Okay, so we were talking about Fred. Jesus Christ, Bycap. Okay. I forgot. Why do I forget these things? Right.
Okay.
Now, Fred. Okay. Here's the thing about Fred. This is where Oleander, in her aggression, truly shine. Because not only because of the fact that she can make what was seemingly unsafe options now safe, she can just, say, I won the neutral, so I deserve this.
Okay, let me see weaknesses before I say the strength of Fred, because this... Yes, oh god, alright. The strength and weakness, this is Fred, he has no high and lows. That's a good thing! If he had any of that shit, everyone would be playing Oleander.
He is okay. I would say the only low is maybe... Hold on, let's see if I can get the move right. No. Is it, would you say 4D is a low? No, 40, 60. Would you say 60 can count as a low?
Everything he has is a mid.
Everything he has is a mid?
And thank God it is a mid.
Okay. Now, Bycaf? How would you like to care to elaborate on why Oleander and Fred is so utterly gut-wrenching?
Okay. Other than just trying to get rid of my PTSD, Fred. The thing is, I didn't want to use Fred for the longest time because immediately when I used him, I saw how broken he is. The thing with Fred is he has two variations of attack, and they're all using with fucking D.
Yeah.
So 60.
All of his buttons are on magic.
Yes.
Oleander can still charge, and she can still do everything she could with magic, but whatever directional button she pushes, Fred will do an attack.
Yes.
With the exception of anything related to up. So it's you got forward, down, down forward, down back, and back.
Yep.
So you have an entire half circle of Fred moves.
But don't worry, that's not the full-on price. That's a discount.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
talk about half of the price now. If you hold the price, which is if you hold down one, if the mic can stop actually killing itself, it would be great. Please, Mike. All right, hold down back magic.
Oh, down back. All right.
Yep. That's it by itself. Now, if you hold it, if you can show it, that's 2 hits. That's fucking stupid.
So there's a difference between holding and tapping. Oh, that's disgusting. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Wait, you never knew?
Nope.
Oh no.
Because okay, I will say this for anyone who's trying to play Oleander: learn Oleander first, learn Fred second. Do not immediately just go, I have level 2, therefore I must use it. Because you need to understand how to efficiently use Fred and connect with Fred before you can dominate with Fred.
Before you play as Fred the character, you have to play that weird servant thing before you can actually play as Fred. So let's actually talk about the weird server thing while Fred is out. The thing with the weird server thing, she cannot gain magic normally. How she gains magic, other than just holding D, she can't use it, gain it from magic fireballs, not even epilogue. I don't think. Actually, no, never mind.
Okay.
Except epilogue. She just can't gain it like that.
Actually,
The only...
yeah, no, she could still steal meter through epilogue.
Yeah, she can still meet her, yeah.
And
But she cannot gain it effectively.
okay, because with Fred out, you have reduced meter gain.
Yes. But that doesn't fucking matter, does it? Nah, it doesn't. You have fucking everything.
Yeah. So if we can move on and get to the gist of why Fred is so
Fred?
terrifying.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Oh no. Okay, go on.
Fred, alright, let's just say a lot of things. Fred can dominate in the air, in the ground, or just even cross-up scenarios, mix-up scenarios. He just helps Oleander in every way, sense, and form, and it hurts. And if you actually pay attention, if you notice, Fred actually was coming out of the book before.
Yeah.
Now, the book is packing out itself.
Also,
her overhead is scarier now because of this.
Because, alright, if I were to remove Fred from the picture... Oh, shit. Okay, so let me say it like this. Even for someone like me who has years of experience, can never see this. Because with 60... Actually, if I can just... Hold on.
Don't you dare talk about that cursed shit.
No, it's not 60, 6C. Okay, with 6C Oleander, she actually has a bit of startup to it. Alright?
It's still there, but
Yeah,
like
so
he'll
like
show.
right here. It's still there, but the fact of the matter is that 6C takes longer because Fred has to come out of the book. However, when Fred is in the picture, that hand stops coming out. And it's a lot faster, I feel, because of it.
It's not, but it looks faster.
It looks faster because she still has the turnaround and the look, but because you don't immediately see something coming out of the book, it's kind of like a Guilty Gear Dust situation where it's like you have to look for the flash and then react accordingly.
Yes.
Now,
The best way to actually, if we're being nice, excuse me, we should tell like how to at least defend against Fred in this, so we can actually be, so people won't just yell at us for telling people how to actually use Fred.
Okay, see, the thing is with Fred and the only tips I've been given for fighting Fred is to just be patient and wait for the Oleander to make themselves unsafe, or at the very least, I would think. Okay, let me have my theory. You either stop Oleander from aggressing entirely, what with her myriad of buttons and safe strings due to Fred existing, especially with freaking 1D. That covers her and everything that she does, and it's a lengthy button.
It's not even her scariest button. That's to be honest with you.
I feel it is because it's a little delayed. But to stop Oleander and Fred, in theory, you either lock her down and force her to not move, or you play the game and you make sure you defend yourself efficiently enough. Because what Oleander will do, Oleanders will always, and I'm going to say this verbatim, will always try to either force you to push a button or go for a mix-up. Because if Oleander is one thing Oleanders don't do, 6C raw, okay? However, with Fred out and having so many things on the screen at once...
Yeah.
Having so many things on the screen at once, and then she just does 6C, it catches you off guard, and then you lose your life for it.
Yes. And let's actually talk about Fred's moves, charge and non-charge.
Okay.
Let's also talk about that.
So charged moves, so let's see here. I've exemplified this a few times, but grab, 1D, and 2D. 2D works very simply. If you hit someone into the air, you can use Fred to immediately bring them back down. Now, if you charge it, it's a fist it's essentially a command grab that brings them back down.
Yep.
And let me guess, it steals
You can
meter
read.
too.
It steals meter, and you can allow it to read during it.
Yes, because what Oleander also wants during Fred is to say, "Hey,
Give Fred meter."
give me meter, give me meter.
Yes.
Give me your meter now."
Your meter. It's
She's.
This is also turning into an Oleander Oleander.
I mean, like we only have Palm left.
Yeah, we only have Palm to really talk about because we've talked about, we've skimmed over certain characters, but I feel like Oleander needs more of a lengthy talk
attention
because of Fred.
Because of Fred, and also the fact that she's completely different with Fred. So we have to talk about with and without Fred.
Okay, I would say if anyone can remember, actually, I'll ask the chat on this one. What have I mainly said about Oleander without Fred? What have me and Bycaf been basically driving home with the idea of her? I want this to be an interactive effort, so go on. Comment in the chat.
It's interactive. Y'all best be interacting.
Okay. Okay. Kind of just waiting for the interaction to happen. Okay, now if I turn Fred off, there we go.
Kind of, yeah. I guess we could just kind of.
Yeah, just go. Okay. Do you guys need any help or?
You're just more interested in like what is Fred?
Okay, because I guess we'll go on and talk. Okay, now actually before I go back to bringing Fred out completely, Oleander by herself is neutral resource based interactions.
Yes.
She is all about using her magic and using her abilities efficiently to make sure you don't push buttons against her. Because sure, she walks wide with some thick ass buttons, and goddamn, look at these buttons, they're hella thick. But
turn on hitboxes though. That just shows them.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's
get them extra thick hitboxes.
You know what? You know what I'll do too? Hold on. Slow motion.
Slow motion.
Yeah. 50%. I feel like hold on. Okay. For 6C,
it's kind of you have a long time to like punch that.
Yeah, 2C, 5C. Oleander has some nice and big buttons.
They are
thick.
They are thick. But they're slow and they're punishable. So say if okay. So why don't we show them on block? All right. So let's see here.
My nightmare.
Yeah, blocking. All right. -5, -2, -2, -6, -6, -12, and -11. So Oleander is mostly unsafe for what she does. And when it comes to okay, yeah, that's what gets me when someone be in my face. I can't do nothing but wait my turn. And with Oleander, if you want to aggress with Oleander and get people to respect your options, you need to play the neutral game, and you need to use your resources efficiently enough to get what you need. And in some cases, and for most people, hey, Bycaf, okay. On the count of 3, all right. I'm gonna say what most Oleander's end game is, and I want you to say it with me. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Fred.
Tentacle monster. Oh yeah, Fred.
Everyone wants Fred. Now let's get back to talking about Oleander with Fred. Now,
remember we're saying that she's unsafe. Yeah, just remove that.
Yeah. neutral based interactions? No, I don't need that anymore. Now this is my neutral you have to deal with. You have to deal with my buttons mixed in with Fred, and I am now mostly unsafe. I mean, mostly safe. Fuck. I'm a good teacher. I'm a good teacher, I swear.
To be honest, Fred actually now I've played a little bit more Guilty Gear, like Zappa, getting Zool. Fuck that guy though. But it's still
yeah, okay. Still. Now if we're gonna bring Zappa into this, I know Zappa for being a character that uses familiars that level up over time.
They don't level up actually. Oh, it's just familiars.
They're just random familiars?
Yeah. The one you want though is fucking Zool, and he's an asshole.
and Zool, okay. So, if you guys want to look up Zappa from Guilty Gear, he's kind of got ghosts around him. And it's akin to Oleander, where Actually, Fred is kind of like Zool, where he does everything for Zappa, and that's Zappa's endgame.
Yes.
Because Oleander is a decent enough character without Fred. But with Fred, she's made one of the best characters in the game.
Practically unstoppable.
Basically.
She is stoppable, but it's hard to do it.
Exactly.
It's very
Practically unstoppable.
You just remove the practically and like add like maybe.
Yeah.
Thought that'll be better.
Oleander can be stopped, but it's more a fact of you knowing what she can do and what's unsafe for Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the
Which
thing.
is
You can't
him
hit,
holding a button.
You can't hit Fred. You can hit Oleander, which in case stops Fred. But in
you
most
can't hit
cases,
Fred.
But you can never hit Fred. That is the
And
thing.
in fact, you want to know what's something cool? Fred's a projectile. I should say this.
Yeah, for okay.
Some odd reason.
Yeah, for some
He's a
odd
projectile.
reason. Now, Fred allows a lot of mix-up potential with Oleander and allows her to aggress a lot more. So say, for instance, let's go back to normal Oleander. Doing JB teleport, that's what most Oleanders will want to do. So say if I throw out a fireball and then I do... Hold on, let's see. Here. Okay. And then this, that is what most Oleanders will do. And Bycaf, you can attest to this.
Yes, I do this as well. Which is why I mixed it up with 2-2A, but don't worry about that.
And I feel like a lot of people have a lot of problems facing Oleander and her aggression, especially at lower levels.
Yeah.
Because at low level, people will just push buttons. And if that means with Fred, you don't understand how to really face Fred.
And it hurts.
It really
badly.
hurts. Now in high level, you understand that Oleander is a monster, can be like a terrifying creature with Fred, and if they're efficient enough. Because what Fred also does, she helps her she really helps her damage. Well, he helps her damage. God, I can't speak. Okay? So say for instance, I wanted to do this combo. Decent. But Bycaf, say if I wanted to do that combo with Fred, instead of 1.5, what would that turn into?
Calculations, if you actually do optimal play of Fred, subtract that by 25, about 2.5k.
On average?
On average? Oh, that'd be like, yeah, it is on average.
Yeah, so Oleander and Fred hurts. Oleander by herself can definitely reach into high numbers, but she's very resource intensive to do so. Fred just says, "Lol, I'll help you do loops." And then it happens. And then Oleander gets loops for days. How many loops does Oleander have, Bycaf?
Why are you asking me this? It's clearly 15. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's 5.
But there's still efficient loops that help her get damage, right?
Yes,
So
they
say-
help her get damage and also help her get meter.
So Oleander with Fred is a terrifying thing. To defend against it, be patient, wait for your openings, or just keep your eyes about you. Because that's what I can say about fighting Oleander. Because sure, Oleander can be crazy aggressive with Fred, and it'll hurt her in the end. But if you can keep yourself on guard, she'll force herself to make a mistake and then use Fred. And in my case, that allows you to do counter assault.
Yes.
And that's the only way to really fight against Fred sometimes in my mind, other than pushing a button, which in most cases are unsafe because Fred's real existence just says, I have precedence in this match now. You will not press a button against me.
Yes. Well, yeah, now we got defending Fred out the way. Let's actually talk about the fucking fun part of Fred, rushdown.
Oh yeah.
Because holy shit, Fred is fun. we say a lot of shit about him, but he's still fun.
Oh yeah, Fred is a fun tool, and if I were to lab him out, which hell, you know what? I wouldn't mind doing a lab stream with Fred.
Fred is 100% a fun tool. Alright, let me actually say what each tool does, because it'll be fun. We're just gonna be starting with 60.
60?
So Yeah, 60. Not fully charged, by the way.
No, I didn't charge it.
Okay, 60. This is your tool. This is pretty much Fred's DP in a nutshell. It's very fast. It just hits them away, and it gives you time to at least read one thing. Now, fully charged 60.
Okay, fully charged 60.
Yep. This is, well, it's slow. You can do a combo tool off of it, and even catch it with a 2-2D. I mean, not 2-2D, but with, I think you can catch it with a 2-2 B or D.
Okay, hold on. Let me do it fully charged. Yeah. Okay, that actually it also has some hit stop too.
Yep.
It sends you flying. So yeah, you can definitely combo off of it like that.
Mm-hmm. And 2-2B also reaches up to it.
Okay, because 2-2B always teleports you behind them.
Yeah. That's how some of her mix-up actually works sometimes. Because Jay's like, oh, you're now in front of me? Now I'm in front of you.
Alright.
But yeah. Now, next up. Let's just go down the list. 3D.
3D?
That's the one.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
Pretty much a boy signal, I like to call it, because this thing is also kind of is really a combo tool.
It is. And if you watch anything related to Oleander, you'll see this used in loops a lot. And if my memory serves, charge is really good. Actually, how much damage does charge do? Okay.
You just gotta let them launch.
Yeah. Okay.
Just launch them. Because I think it's about around 6.
It adds a few hundreds of damage.
Yeah. Around 2. So, it's good, and it's unfair in the corner.
Oh yeah.
It is 100.
It restricts. It's one of those moves that also restricts you from jumping.
Yes.
And if you jump and decide to push a button, you'll get punished by it.
Mm-hmm. You won't see the non-charged one. You'll see in like mid-screen. The fully charged one, however, you're gonna see that in the corner. And I hope you like the corner because you'll be in there with Fred anyway. So, yeah. So you'll see it mostly to push you into the corner, which you'll be screaming for life. Please no, please stop. Next up, 2D. This thing is very good. It's undercredited, actually.
Okay. I would definitely see this as a very good a good combo and anti-air tool.
It's both a combo and anti-air tool. Not fully charged, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's like just normal charge. It's just like, you know.
It catches people. And you even see it in some of my combos where I just kind of lead it into Fred after like full screen super. You can
speaking of
just
his
do
hitboxes, it's actually relatively big.
It is very big. It's a big, lengthy tentacle.
It's a thick hitbox.
Yeah.
A thick box.
Mm-hmm. So it's no slouch. It can catch people from pretty much mostly anywhere in front of Fred. And that's scary in itself, so... Now, let's talk about fully charged 2D.
Okay, as I was doing earlier...
This asshole allows you to read in between it, so it's pretty much a better version of 2D, except of the minor exception if you use a J2C, then you can't really use it.
Because it takes a ground bounce.
Yes. But this is a very good anti-air tool because of the fact it allows you to read way more than you really should. So, yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
Next, we were talking about everyone's favorite move, 1D. We should really just talk about fully charged because just charge by itself.
It's
no,
bigger.
not charge.
Oh, no, that's not charge. Okay.
Not charge, yeah. It's more of a block tool string. That's it. That's all you really need for it. It's actually, I would recommend it doing the overhead and then doing it so you can actually be safe for the overhead.
So like,
like
that.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to be a dick,
Yeah. Because if you do the non-charge one, if people think you can punish you and you like block, you basically get Fred faster and like you can actually save yourself way faster than like just doing it charged. And there's also like another DP for Fred, so Fred has 2 DPs.
Okay.
Now fully charged is a dick.
Actually, let me slow it down. Let me slow this down again so that we get an idea of the hitbox too. Oh wait, that's wrong move. Okay.
Long move. Yeah. It has a lot of hit stun. It is mainly used for
I am the hitbox!
Yes! Heyo.
Oh, hi, Harmless. We're talking. Okay. This very quickly turned
Somehow.
into a. Oh,
This is
like
why you don't invite me.
this is okay. This turned into an Oleander Blemified. But we're
Because-
mainly talking about Fred now and how Oleander really benefits off of Fred.
Yeah, because we're talking about rushdown, and we have to actually talk about Oleander mostly in full so we can actually get her rushdown correctly.
Yeah, because
Which is sad.
like because like with the other characters, it's very easy to think about their rushdown. Their rushdowns are completely simple. It's more about the idea of how they go about it. Whether it be Arizona needing to have her space and resources in order to make people afraid of her, Paprika for having constant mix-ups and damage to boot that make you respect her and be afraid of her, or Tianhua with her agility and movement that confuses you and you get hit because you don't understand where she's going yet.
Yes.
Now
But with Oleander, let me say this. Literally everything you have to do has to either take a very big consideration, or you're actually just stupid enough to say YOLO.
Like me.
Yeah. Which is literally just most of Oleander's playstyle. And since that's Oleander's playstyle, which
Like-
is neutral and then YOLO.
Yeah, let's see it. Okay, let's bring it back to Oleander again. Oleander, in her way of being a rushdown, is efficient use of her resources that she gets by either having space, being given the space required to charge, stealing resources so that you don't have any, and so she has control over the match and how it's dictated and how much damage she can take, or it being the fact that, you know, she's using her like a lot of tricks and whatnot, either through her movement or through her resource management that allows her to aggress and stay on the offensive. Right?
Yes.
So Oleander's ideas are a little bit more complex, rather than
Because-
other than Arizona, Pap, and Tian, and even Velvet. Whereas Velvet is her only idea of aggressing is, I'm gonna do a thing and I'm gonna make you fuck up, or I'm gonna control the space and I'm going to make you suffer for getting within my space and thinking you can walk wide. Whereas Oleander, it's like Velvet, but on a whole new level.
She's kind of like a balance between all the characters, honestly, because she has something that all the characters have that they're more specialized in, but she has the master of all trades, so
Jack of all trades,
master of none,
Mas-
you're fucked.
Master of many. Okay, let's see here. Master of any. Actually, Jack of all trades, master of none. That's how it goes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you can play her aggressively, but it's all about how you want, like, how you think about the character and how she's meant to be used. Whereas Fred just says, "Hey, you want to use me to aggress? You got that. You've got that in spades." Because this then changes Oleander's entire game plan into either steal meter even harder than I already did, or dominate the neutral so hard that I'm turning this into my game.
Yes. Actually, I wish I would actually find a way to do this more. Just to make block strings so I can just constantly read, so I can just get more Fred. Because I'm pretty sure Oleander can do that.
Oh no, Oleander definitely can do that, and Amaron is a product of that.
Prime example of that.
Because, like, doesn't he tend to get Fred twice in one round?
I do that if I like get enough chance to.
I
Like,
was thinking it was
it's
also.
E199.
I think it was also Amaron who did it.
Yeah.
But Oleander has that ability to play how she wants and aggress how she wants. Now it's all a matter of defending against her and her ideas of aggression that makes things complicated. Because of the fact because of Fred existing, a lot of her, her tools and trickery that she can use to, make you second guess a few things. Like, oh, I could punish here. Wait, no I can't.
Yeah. And look, we're actually about to finish up like the last move, which is actually one of the more scarier moves that's in the corner, which is 4D.
4D? Oh yeah.
If you can pay attention, 4D would usually be like next to the player. Or like, not next to the player, but just kind of mid-screen.
And also what I'm doing here on screen is what most Oleanders will do.
And that's only with the charge one, which is really a big fuck you.
I mean, you could just edit Fred's rock on hands to just fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, really, the reason why I say it's scary in the corner and also scary mid-screen, it's just a very scary move.
It is.
Because
It
the
really is.
non-charge one is actually a very scary block string. Like, if you actually time things right, you could just say, you're not moving. Like, it's hard to do. You can't really combo it into it as well unless you use a fireball. But, like, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
It would be like...
Okay, I think I got it.
Yeah. Yep. There we go. That does pretty decent amount of Fred damage because of the fact that you kind of did it on a weird move.
Yeah, I did it off of 5B.
Yeah. The reason why I said scary in the corner is because of the fact that if you do overhead with it, not only you have to worry about the overhead, it's like, oh, I can punish here. Fred just comes out and say,
Yeah.
yoink!
Yeah, hold on. Actually, hold up. Let me move Arizona in the corner here. So, like that, right?
Yep. That's a very, very scary
Now,
thing.
I'll generalize Oleander. I'll generalize this entire talk. So, Oleander and Fred is a very scary thing because when it comes to rushing down, Oleander is given the utmost amount of tools to make what was previously unsafe now safe. Stuff like 6C is now safe. Like doing J2C raw is now safe. Oleander that's what makes her terrifying and what makes her rushdown game plan so effective. Is that she goes from a character that wasn't meant to be rushed down, but you can still play her as such, to a character that wants to rush you down, that wants to limit your options and make you feel helpless. Right?
Yes.
Did I hit the nail on the head for the most part?
And there's one last thing. It's not very important to rush down, but I want you to do. Can you please play volleyball with Arizona's body for me?
How so?
You can do a fully charged 4D after a fireball in the air.
Really?
Do it.
Okay, 40. Okay, hold up. Okay, I should probably do the heavy
That's
fire.
good. Yeah. Heavy combos.
Alright. Okay.
Is it fully charged? No, it's not fully charged. No. Sorry.
Alright, give me a second. Like that.
Yep. And you can play volleyball with that character. So pretty much, she also does world damage. Isn't that fun? there we go with all of it.
Okay, so Oleander's main idea of just playing that game, having that game plan, all centers around Fred for the most part.
Yeah. Centers around Fred and Bully when she has Fred's out.
Okay.
Now we're gonna get to the character that no one actually knows about.
Actually, if anything,
Calm.
I would say, would you like it if Harmless were in here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey, Harmless.
It'll be good. Actually, just add her and I'll go because my mic is actually going to die soon.
Oh, okay, hold
like,
on.
super bad. If she's like watching still, I think.
I hope. Actually,
Also,
I'll grab
we should
some
probably get a...
I'll grab some Klonoa music for the sake of talking about Palm.
We should probably get Palm players in here because they actually done more research than us and we can't actually say anything about it.
Okay, I can at the very least talk, like, because I've watched a little bit of Palm and how she plays, and Palm's a bad character.
Yes.
I would dare say she's possibly even one of the worst.
This is why I always say, I hope the guy you don't hear the very, very loud music in the back.
I know. But anyways.
Okay, good.
The reasons why Palm is bad is because, for one thing, she needs setup for everything she does. She needs setups to exist as a character. And all of her mix-ups mostly rely on trying to make things either unblockable, or at the very least, make you second guess.
Yes.
Like, say for instance, there's a dog here. I should probably, block low or something, and then she hits you with an overhead. Palm is a very weird character because of it. And a lot of her, if anyone,
Yeah, someone's rating you.
Someone's rating, oh shit. What? Anyways, so when it comes to talking about Palm and her pressure and her just idea of rushdown, she needs to have Oki. That is her main idea of pressure and rushdown. Oki and unblockable. Oki, unblockables, and just making things difficult for the opponent.
I will say this as well. The reason why Palm, I also will say is hard, is because of the fact she has to climb a mountain to be at the level of a beginner has to be.
Oh yes. If any fresh blood or anyone new to the game is deciding to play Palm, you're making a horrible life decision, because Palm is the hardest character in the game. I would say, I would say in difficulty, it would go like this. Palm, Velvet, Tianhuo, let's see here, Oleander, Paprika, Arizona Paprika.
Yeah.
That is what my idea of this game's difficulty is.
And they all dipped. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I mean, you're not entirely wrong. Back down to 9 viewers.
Back down.
And
however, before I go, I should say this. Palm also has a big issue. You may not see it because you'll probably see her in the corner most of the time, and if you look at tournament footage, you'll see her go into the corner. They make you go into the corner. It's actually damage.
Oh, yeah.
She actually has inferior damage compared to the other ones, unless you're in the corner and you have meter.
Oh yeah, Palm is very resource intensive. She needs both the corner and resources in order to get the most out of her damage. Without it, she is a lesser character because of it. She can get damage and she can get the things that she wants, but she needs to put you in situations where you're in the corner. And when you're in the corner, you're pretty much dead. Because, okay, I know people like Hammett and Oscar make up Oki situations, like they'll do a combo and then it'll lead into a few options, either like a low, an overhead, or a cross up. And now if you're in the corner against Palm, you're dead anyways, because you gave her what she wants and she excels in the corner, and that's the only thing that she wants is the corner.
Good luck getting to it, and it's a pleasure talking with you, but now I have to actually fix this mic.
Okay.
Remember, guys, have a good stream.
Okay. So Palm's game plan of oh, hello, Harmless. Hi. Have you been hearing what I've been saying about Palm the entire time?
You've been talking about Palm?
Yes, me and Bicap just now started getting to Palm. And how she has to aggress. Now, I stated that, Bicap actually stated that her damage, unless she's in the corner, is inferior to, obviously, corner damage. And I'm stating that she is a very resource-intensive character that, even with resources, gets mediocre payoffs to good payoffs. And she relies heavily on constantly trying to make you, put you in an unblockable situation, or keep you in Oki. and that Oki is very simplistic when you either have to guess against air dashes.
What was it by Capsat again?
Her damage. Her damage
what
is
damage?
not okay. It's in when it's not in the corner, it's pretty bad. Either it's pretty bad or pretty alright.
You ever watch Mulan?
Hmm?
You ever watch Mulan?
Mulan, what about it?
The Disney one?
What about the movie?
Okay, there's a scene where the recruits are trying to climb up this gigantic pole with heavy weights. The leader says, this weight represents discipline, this weight represents strength. You need both to reach the arrow at the top. While Palm doesn't exactly do the greatest damage in neutral, once she gets that advantage in neutral, because you do have to play neutral with her.
She is another character that you definitely have to play neutral with. You have to play neutral with all characters, but it's more the fact of the matter that you have to play neutral lesser or more with certain characters. I would say you would have to play neutral a lot more than you would with Oleander.
And get some resources. Only then can you set up things the way you want to. Create different options for set play. If they jump, you air grab them, empty jump low. Hiroki's pretty strong if you're in the corner. Kind of like Paprika, but minus the crazy damage.
Paprika, yeah, okay. Palm definitely has options, but it's more the fact that she doesn't have the damage to supplement it. It's more
Unless you're Oscar, and you could, or Stormy Shining.
Hold on.
You can poop damage.
But where does most of the damage come from? Let me ask you, what position of the screen does the damage mostly come from?
In the corner when the combo just keeps going forever and ever because it's a super.
Because it's a loop. Now, Palm needs that loop where it's like 2C, Digger, and Super, right?
Yep.
Now, she really needs that to really get the damage that she wants. Now, in mid-screen, she can get damage and she can get corner coverage, or like screen coverage, but it's still a problem for her.
You can still kind of mix them up with the command dashes if you have a dog.
Okay, command dash, bitey, JB, like air dash shenanigans.
I haven't figured out how to do most of those yet.
But the thing is about Palm, for a beginner at lower levels, she asks the utmost out of a player just to do the most simplest thing. If you want to get a decent damage combo, you need to learn how your dogs function.
As a Palm main, I can highly attest to this.
And you're still relatively fresh, Harmless. That's the thing.
Yep, just cracked 1K hours. Ooh, go me.
And you know what? That's fine. It's all a matter of the experience that you get from the game. And Palm she can be a good character, but she's not the best. And Harmless, I would even say Palm is actually one of the worst characters in the game.
I still love her.
And that's understandable. Despite the fact of how little this character has and what she needs to do to even exist as a normal character, it's still, like, you still got people that are trying to figure her out and understand her. She can be a fun time, but you need to have good hands and know your character to do anything. Because, like, at lower levels, people are just gonna, like, push buttons, do dogs like this, like, freaking push buttons like that, and then do a dog like this, and you're like, what is this? What does this dog do? Oh, okay, he does that thing. All right. It takes a curious mind to understand what you're doing with Palm, especially at lower level. At lower level, you will need to look at videos and constantly check in with your character, with the people who know your character. Whereas
you really need to want the sheep.
You need to want to get better with your character. Whereas with Arizona, Tianhuo, and all the other characters that are actually meant for rushing down, like, Palm, like, you don't necessarily need to look up that stuff. Oh, Drew left. Okay. You don't necessarily need to look up things. It's a good thing to do. I've learned all my Velvet stuff from just doing my own things and talking with people. If I were to play Palm, I would do some proper experimentation, but I would need to hit up someone like Oscar or Hammett people who know this character inside and out to give me an iota of what I need to do with this character. And I will make this joke. I will make it now, and I will make it forever. Palm breaks hands.
So does Velvet, honestly. The only time I've ever gotten wrist aches or snap, crackle, pop wrists is when I'm playing Palm really hard or when I'm playing Velvet really hard.
And that's the thing too. Like, the characters I would say that actually break the hands the most are, let's see, Velvet, Tian, and Palm. Because with Palm, with Tian, well, you need to have fast hands to do her efficient dragon install stuff. Velvet, you have to learn how to do tiger knees and everything.
Hands so fast, no one can catch him. With Tian.
And
But
wait, what?
I was going off what you said about Tian, and I'm like, yeah, you need hands so fast, no one can catch them.
Yeah. Actually, Harmless?
Get it? Because, okay.
No, I understand. But Harmless? Is there anything that you want to add, like, for the people that might either be watching or watching the video back? As a Palm player yourself?
With regard to, there's a lot to unpack within that one tiny, cute little sheep.
Oh yes, there's definitely a lot to unpack with this character. And you need effort. People will I should bring this back around. Palm needs to play the neutral game, and she needs to get hit 2C. Something that knocks the opponent down. JC won't do that unless they're in the air.
Hello, Bitey will do that.
Yeah, oh, Bitey. Okay, actually, hold on. Let me bring out Bitey. Yep.
Yeah, get him out of here.
No, he doesn't. Oh, okay. No, wait. Yes, he does. No, he does. Okay. It's just it's 1D that does it. So, with Palm, it's a lot of experimentation and labbing. She is the most lab-intensive character, I feel.
Which is kind of ironic since I find the lab a little boring. Haven't really done much there, but...
Actually, you want to know what I would say to make the lab more interesting?
Music?
Music is one thing, but also, when you figure out something, you need to sit down and think, what can I do here? And what can I do about this? What is the idea that I am presenting here? What is the pressure, the situation that I'm putting to this person? Because I get that, I think about that sometimes, where it's like, hey, I'll drop a combo as Velvet, I'll drop a combo here, and then I will immediately go into Icicle. Or, say for instance, I'm playing Biken in Guilty Gear, a character that like is also pretty resource intensive to get what she wants. I want to I wanted to lab her out one day, and I did last Friday, and I figured out something pretty unique and interesting. So I tested it out on all the characters. And what it was essentially a corner, like, say if I'm in the corner, right? And I do a small string that leads into a special move, Roman cancel, which slows down time, micro dash, and then do a move that pulls my opponent towards me. Now the thing is, this move pulls them towards me, and since I micro dash, it pulls them over me. So I switched places with them in the corner. Roman cancel basic.
Turns purple?
No. Okay.
No, wait, red.
Oh, Drew just hosted me. Okay.
Hey.
Now, I'll bring it. Okay, I will bring Velvet in here for the sake of.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring Velvet in here for the sake of, like, saying, like, expressing what I said. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now. Okay. So what I basically did was something that looks like this. Oh wait, shit. Oh, no, I have resources.
About 15 seconds.
Something that looks like this. That's what I did in Guilty Gear with Biken. I basically labbed out something and made a combo that allowed me to be more advantageous. Now with Palm, she's definitely one of those characters, because you can't just immediately go into a match and expect good things like you could with Arizona, Tian, or even Pap for that matter. Every character is asking something of you. It's all a matter of what they're asking and how much of it. Tian might not ask for much in the beginning, but later on she's going to start asking for a lot more. A Velvet asks for a decent amount in the beginning, and she'll ask for a lot more later if you decide to do so. Palm will ask a lot up front. She is going to ask the most of you, right
In
up
that way,
front.
she's pretty honest.
She is. She's a pretty honest character that just says, hey, you want to play me, you need to understand that you need to learn how to play this character. Like, you need to be patient while also understanding what you can do out of certain things. It's not as straightforward as me just saying, lol, I can do this, and then I get corner and I get damage. Lol. Palm is a lot more complex as a character.
Should I tell you a bit of tech that might demonstrate that?
If you want to tell me some tech for the sake.
Let me get on. Let me
Okay.
get on the page.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you want to show some tech for the stream and just help anyone who wants to play this character a little bit if they're rewatching the VOD, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Also, this is also okay. This is kind of turned into a character overview stream or a Blemified. No, because I talked about at this point either I or Bycaf have talked about all the characters so far, about how they can aggress and what. No, it's fine. And what they can do with their rushdown, because in their minds, if you want to rush down with those characters, you need to have a certain mindset to do so. Okay.
I've never heard of anybody aggress palming.
Oscar, Hammett.
Well, they kind of need to play the game first, though.
Yes, you need to
see that.
You need to play the game first before you can truly understand that you can aggress with this character. Hey Blaze, can I show one combo I know with Ollie? Sure, if you want. I'm definitely leaving this floor open for any questions, or if anyone wants to show anything, and then, you know, people respond and look back on it. Because I want to also make Blemified something where it's like, anyone can watch it and learn something, or maybe correct me on certain things if you need to, because I know that's what certain people are going to do, or, you know, let the community show what you guys got. And then maybe, like, people can discuss and, like, say, oh, you did this thing, but have you tried this? So on and so forth.
Most of this is... Oh. I wasn't sure. Shall I?
Go ahead.
Okay, a couple things. For all you little baby sheeps out there, a couple things you're gonna want to know, like, really want to know. The air is your space. It's not Tien's. It's yours.
And actually, I can attest to this, because a good portion of her moves, if I turn on hitboxes, also, Fanticrat. Hello there. What character were you talking about? Never looked at this character, but she seems cool. Are you referring to Palm? Okay, so let's show the hitboxes. Okay, so thing is about her, let's see, especially 2B, I feel. This is, huh?
They said yes.
Okay, yeah.
Look at that tiny green box.
Yeah, that tiny green box, that is her hurt box. Now, whenever Palm does this, her hurt box sinks. This means she has 2 anti-airs. I wouldn't count 5B as much because her hurt box actually extends. But 2B definitely says, this is my space. You will not approach me.
It's the god. That's why they call it the god normal. You're gonna want to change 5B into 2B, especially when you're juggling opponents in the air. For example.
Actually, I can't. It doesn't go 2B. Okay. It doesn't go in reverse. It's only 5B, 2B.
Yeah, it doesn't go in reverse. Not like Velvet. Okay, so. Heaven's sake. Okay.
Take your time, Harmless.
And if you had a dog there, after I did the 5B, 2B, you could have used them to carry the combo. Not too complicated.
And even for you, okay, Harmless.
It's a little late. Yes?
Since you're, like, you know, that you're completely new to fighting games, how has the journey with Palm been for you, someone who's been completely new to fighting games? Give an idea for people who want to play this character, because I want there to be hope for people that wish to play this character. I know what I said about this character. You have to learn the game, and I mean learn the game. But there's
It
nothing.
might discourage people, but
It might discourage people, but here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with playing a character that tells you to learn the game. In some cases, that can lead to a whole new level of enjoyment. It's going to be frustrating at first, but then you expand your knowledge a lot faster than certain people would. Say, for instance, Arizona players. Fresh Arizona players won't learn as much as they would with Palm, I feel. Because their minds are so set on, okay, I want to maximize my damage, so on and so forth, where they will just skip neutral altogether. The idea of neutral is foreign to them. Being patient is completely foreign. Whereas with Palm players, especially at the beginning, they are told and they will know to wait their turn. Am I right?
mm-hmm.
No, go on and speak.
Ah, okay. So in my journey with Palm, honestly, I've experienced the reverse, but also what you said at the same time. Seems a bit paradoxical. But since there were others learning the game upon release, I actually found that I grew slower than the others, but neutral remains my strong point. So while I can't quite do combos as well as I should.
Actually, you know what? Let's put that to the test.
I give up. I give.
You just stay as Palm for a second. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Harvest?
Yeah?
We're going
Wait,
back.
no, you put training.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm doing.
Oh!
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're not going into an immediate match. I'm just switching characters so that I can provide the idea and put that to the test for people watching.
Take your pick. Arizona. I'll make you proud, Pa.
I mean, I'm not the greatest at it,
But
but
you
it's still
have,
fun either way.
but you at the very least still have some semblance of experience with it, right?
Mm-hmm, like, I don't really jump forward unless I'm blocking.
Okay, fuck. Okay.
The idea of defense is always on my mind, like if I make a mistake or
So
something.
now I'm going to approach you, Harmless. All right. So I want you to defend. Ready?
I never said I could block 6B.
Nope. But that's fine. You're at least showing that you know how to wait your turn and know what's unsafe, right? Because you fight Bubble a lot, so I'd imagine you especially know what's unsafe with Cal. And that's why I bring the point up with Palm, is that your ideas of neutral will grow a lot faster than, say, Cal players. Because you're forced into those situations, and if you want to succeed, you need to clutch the idea of doing neutral well. Defense and punishment is your lifeblood. Right?
Yes, it is.
Am I scaring you a little bit?
No.
Alright.
Something else I wanted to show you guys earlier, one of the tech pieces of tech is float canceling your moves when you have them in the air.
Flow canceling. So you mean just doing up and pushing a button, yeah?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Is that how like Oscar and Hammett do JB?
Yeah. I mean, with every jump, you have one air.
You can hold up to float. And in some cases,
I need to go. I need to go. My dog is going crazy.
Okay.
I'm kind of freaking out.
No, it's fine, harmless.
See you later.
See ya. Oh shit. Okay. So with that idea of like float canceling, it's all a matter on
Take your pick.
knowing how to efficiently float. These colors, not these colors. This color.
I don't want to be here. Arizona. Looks like it's
Now, being able to do stuff like float canceling. Okay, if I can get it down pat. Okay. So, bop. Yeah, like that. Palm will ask you to do some odd shit just so you can do something that's simple looking for other characters. If you want to aggress with Palm, you need to learn and understand how your character functions. You need to lab with Palm. Because going in and pressing buttons is not something you could just go in and do. Because for one thing, her buttons, for the most part, if you want to talk about her A's, they don't exist. A does not exist with Palm. You don't press A with Palm. Unless you do this. Unless you just run up and hit 5A, which is a horrible risk because, you know, a character could just say, that's cute. But the most buttons you're going to be pushing are your longer range buttons. Your C's and your B's. But I'm probably talking out of turn for Palm right now. However, I hope and pray that through the stream I've helped get the ideas of how you're supposed to play, what their ideas are for rushdown. And if I can summarize it all. So let's go down the list. All right. Before I head off,
take your pick.
Arizona is Arizona is more resource-based. She requires good fundamentals in neutral in order to aggress and being able to keep the opponent locked down. And once she has resources, she needs to use those to make sure that people respect her and that she can rush down efficiently and take back her turns. Paprika is all about being in your face the entire time, making those explosive little jabs into the combos count, especially when it comes to making your damage and making your pressure situations, along with Oki. Tianhuo is mobility-based aggression, where she's using her movement to throw you off, throw you in for a loop, and then punish you accordingly, and play around certain characters because of it. Her damage isn't the best, but as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you know what to hit and when to hit and how to hit, you'll do fine. It's all a matter of just keeping yourself safe enough and keeping the pressure going. That forces people to make mistakes. Velvet's pressure is range-based. It's simple, like her aggression is simple, but it can still be complex. It's mostly in zoning where it gets complex, and in up close it gets really linear, where it's like you push buttons into DP, and that's kind of it. Or you drop combos into icicles and whatnot. You make Oki. Not Arizona. Velvet wants Velvet wants you to deal with what she has. That is her idea of aggressing, to making you play and dance for her amusement. Now, Oleander is resource-based aggression as well, but her aggression comes in just either making you struggle for your resources, and then once she has the proper amount of resources, going into Fred to make everything safe. Resource-based neutral interactions that turn into bloodlust. That is aggression. And Palm is just situations and Oki. Situations, mix-ups, Okis, you name it. She requires the most to make out of your aggression. Whereas all the other characters have something to alleviate the problems of aggressing and whatnot, and staying aggressive, Palm has to constantly work for her pressure. She has to always try to stay on top. And if she can't, she falls down. And she falls hard. And I probably skimmed through a lot of stuff and just rambled on in a few places. I still hope that this is helpful enough for people watching or just rewatching. And one thing that I need to stress for every character, some more than others, especially characters like Oleander, Palm, Velvet, and Tian, learn to play neutral. If you learn to be patient, learn to take your turn, and know when it is not your turn. Because that is important when it comes to... Let's see. This looks like a good game. Oh, it is. It definitely is. Now, know when to take your turn and know when to defend. Because I know that's what a lot of Fresh Blood do. They don't defend, and then they get eaten out for it. Now, if you learn how to defend and put yourselves in more positive situations, you'll have a much easier time rather than just going... Someday I hope to be able to play it. I hope you'll be able to play it too, and maybe I'll see you in matches. Xavier? Now, what was I saying? Yeah, learning neutral. We've stressed this so many times, but it can't be said enough. You need to learn... People need to learn how to defend. Fighting games are not always about constant mix-ups. They are also about learning to defend yourself and punish accordingly. You need to learn when it is your turn and when it is not. And when it is your turn, take those turns. Go for it. Kill them if you need to. But when it is not your turn, you need to sit back and wait for your opportunity to strike. It's rough. It's hard. It's not fun. I understand that. But if you wish to succeed, you need to learn how to defend yourself. And defend well in certain cases. But again, I hope this stream helps you guys out a little bit, and it helps you guys understand the idea of certain characters and how they aggress. I'm open to having a little bit more discussion between certain people and what they want to understand, and I'm open to getting more knowledge myself. So I'll see you all another time, maybe later tonight with another game. But for now, I'll say goodnight to you all.